This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAIA Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Hey, happy Wednesday. The Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We are presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana State law says it is your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. You ever get to that point where you think, uh-oh, I should probably go see my eye doctor again? I'm getting old, man. I'm getting there. I'm probably going to need some readers soon. Anyway, welcome inside. We got a big show today. We're going to talk NAIA hoops with Lindsay Wooley, Montana Western women's coach, national champs a couple of years ago, and also Rachelle Sayers, whose team has a good chance to be national champs this year. How cool would it be if we have back-to-back Frontier Conference national champions on the women's side? Could happen on the men's side this year. You could have, I think Providence men have a good chance of winning, but we'll see. Bless me. Not only am I getting old and I can't see, but now I'm having issues sneezing on the air. Good stuff, eh? All right. Hey, you can watch live on Facebook and Twitter. I think YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if they've taken us down yet. But you can also listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com, and much more. So always, as always, go to JasonWalkerShow.com, and you can tweet us at JWalkerSports. The email is jason@JasonWalkerShow.com. All right, so there are state tournaments going on all across the state. We have this AA is up in Great Falls. The B is at Metro Park, and the C is at Lockwood, which is really cool that Lockwood was able to, they hosted some wrestling. They hosted a bunch of other stuff in place of other schools. So, but yeah, there was some not surprises earlier today. The Capital boys won in AA. We'll just start with AA. The Capital boys picked up a big win over my Bozeman Hawks, which is rough, 67-52. Big game for Braden Cook. I think he had 25. Hayden Opitz had 18 in the win. So Capital will now take on, one of the prohibitive favorites in Great Falls High tomorrow. They'll play at 5:30 in the semifinal because Great Falls was a 66-38 winner over Glacier. There was no upset for Glacier this time. They knocked off the 2 seed last week out of the West, heading into postseason play in Hellgate, but not this time. Great Falls blows them out to 66-38. Other boys games today, you'll have Skyview taking on Butte at 5:30, and then Sentinel plays Senior tonight at 7:30 to wrap up the boys' first round. Girls' first round got underway today with 2 games, one in progress. You have Capital. Barge Twins had a pretty good game, but Capital beats Skyview 51-34. So Capital girls, looking for a back-to-back state championship, move into the semifinals on Friday night, and that will be 5:30 Friday night. So the boys from Capital will play tomorrow against Great Falls at 5:30. The girls will play at 5:30 on Friday against either West or Kalispell, or Glacier rather. And let's see, at last check, was it Glacier West leading 19-12, which means, let me go on we might be able to get to watch the West High cheer squad, which we talked about yesterday. Am I logged on? I am. Okay, let's go. You got Montana. Learn how to spell. Let's see here. You have pretty good B basketball going on, too. There was a big upset today. A big upset in Class B basketball. Or Class C basketball. One of the two. But I'll tell you which one as soon as I can get the bracket loaded. Thanks, Internet. Let's recap those boys again real quick, though, in AA. So, Great Falls, 66-38. Reed Harris had 19. Drew Wyman had 13. Weston Price had 17 for the Wolfpack. But the Bison, too much. Capital, we mentioned Braden Cook. Big three late in the first half. He had a big dunk, too. Hayden Opitz, we mentioned, playing in, he had 18. Couple of assists, couple of steals as well. So that's pretty good. Now, those two combined, 16 of 24 from the floor, which is pretty darn good. And congratulations there. Okay, here. Let's get to State B basketball, shall we? And what do we got on the floor right now? Looks like Glacier cheerleaders. Okay. We'll get over to the NFHS. I'm not supposed to show it, but we're gonna. They get free advertising. What do they care? State B boys going on down at Metro Park. And early winners today, Manhattan beat Deer Lodge 53-39. Thompson Falls hammered Shelby 70-34. So Manhattan and Thompson Falls will play in the semifinal tomorrow night. That is Class B boys. The Class C girls also going on at Metro Park. And Big Timber held off Anaconda 63-58. And then it's halftime, Malta and Loyola 28-all. Other games on the girls' side tomorrow morning, Eureka Roundup, Columbus, and Fairfield. And other games in boys' action tonight at Metro Park, you have Florence Carlton taking on Lodgegrass tonight. And we'll see who shows up for Lodgegrass fan-wise because they got hacked on Monday or Sunday night, Monday morning, and all the tickets sold to a couple of people. And the Lodgegrass fans will know exactly who bought the tickets. And MHSA couldn't really do anything about it. Tickets hadn't even gone on sale yet, but somebody had the password, got on, bought all the Lodgegrass tickets, all 500 of them. It was the 7 people, I think, is what the number they said. Huntley Project takes on Fairfield tonight, and the nightcap down at Metra on the boys' side, State B. All right, State C tournament is at Lockwood, boys and girls. And we'll start with the boys, where, let's see, who wins in the early games. Oh, this was a hammering. Scobie, 66-27 win over Broadus. How about that? Manhattan Christian taking on Belt right now. Girls games, that's where we had our upset. Did not come in the first game. A 66-27 win for Seiko Whitewater Hinsdale, as they knocked off Jordan 66-27. But Sealy Swan came into the tournament unbeaten, no longer. They're in the loser's bracket. Roy Winifred gets the upset, 39-31. You've got Melstone Manhattan Christian girls tonight, followed by Fort Benton and Plentywood at Lockwood. So a big upset in the State C. And tough there for sure. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, they're sweeping the floor, so no Billings West dance squad? What? All right. Maybe next game. That's a bummer. That's the best part of the AA tournament is the West High cheer squad. Or dance squad, rather. High voltage. All right. Let's see here. One of the dudes covering the Isaiah Dunk, does a great job, said the halftime you've got West 19, Glacier 12. Feels like West could be up by more, but also feels like Glacier could be winning. That's the girls' game. Bears are 3 for 10 from the free throw line. Glacier's 2 of 11. That's rough. You got to make free throws. We saw free throws at the State A last week become an issue. We saw a big problem with free throws, and that is at the State A, Dillon boys which played for the championship, almost didn't get to play for the championship because Laurel missed some free throws in regulation that would have won it and in the first overtime that would have sealed the deal. And instead, Dillon, the Beavers, beat Laurel in double overtime in the semifinals to get to play for the championship, in which they lost to Billings Central. But free throws are huge. And any coach will tell you that. Free throws, free throws, free throws. Make them. It's the easiest shot. It's easier than a wide open layup. It's easier than a wide open three. It's easier than a 10-foot jumper from the baseline. You're literally by yourself shooting a free throw. It's not that hard. It's really not. It's why you practice your free throws. So, all right. My vent about free throws is over. But man, oh man, state tournaments, we're going to have 6 champions by Saturday night, and it's going to be awesome. I love this time of the year. Plus, you have spring training getting going. How about that? Oh, and did you see that the Texas Rangers are going to allow full capacity for the opener on April 5th? Masks optional. Now remember, Globe Life is where they had the National Finals Rodeo, Arlington, Texas. Limited capacity for the rodeo in December, but they're planning on going full bore down in Texas. Let's see, we've got a couple other things to chat about real quick. One is by this time, maybe next month, a couple of weeks from now, we're gonna have a couple of weeks off. Why, you ask? Because this is all going away. Not the Jason Walker Show, for good. I know some people would enjoy that, but we're going to be back. It's just we're getting remodeled here in a few weeks. So this look and this look, hey, how are you? And this look, all going to go away. So we're going to have a new look. We'll have new desk, newness, which would be pretty cool here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Can't wait for that. So. Fun. It's gonna be kind of sad though. I mean, our first 14 months together, 15 months together was here, but we'll make do. We'll live. We'll survive and advance, just like you do in tournaments, right? Speaking of which, the Bobcat women survived and advanced last night down at Boise in the Big Sky Women's Tournament. The Grizz are playing right now. They were up 31-25 at the half. Was the last score I saw. So we'll keep an eye on everything throughout today and to tomorrow and Friday as well. Tomorrow, by the way, we'll talk to Katie Garson-Forba, her team with a big win today on the girls' side. We'll also tomorrow talk to Janice Dean from Fox News, the meteorologist. We're going to call her Hurricane Janice because she's about to bring down one of the most powerful men help bring down one of the most powerful men in New York, in Governor Andrew Cuomo. But we'll talk to Janice Dean tomorrow here on the show. Along with Katie Garson-Forba, we'll have more tournament updates, like I said, all week long through Friday afternoon. It's good times. So, all right, the refs are making their way back out. That means we're a couple of minutes away from playing some basketball up at Great Falls. You got Glacier and West going on. We'll keep an eye on that game. We'll keep an eye on the games in progress across the state as well. But when we return, we're going to talk some hoops, more hoops, of the college variety this time. Carroll College women, the 1 seed in one of the brackets out at Lewiston, Idaho. We'll talk to Rachelle Sayers about the season, the team, and what it's like to play at LC State. That's all coming up. Next, here on the Jason Walker Show, we are presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana State law says it's your vehicle, it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. And, manufacturers have a repair manual for repairs of their vehicles. They spent millions to obtain these safety ratings. And they just want their vehicles properly maintained to manufacturer specification. Capital Collision is one of the first shops in the country to be manufacturer certified. And what that means, it takes special training and equipment to be in these programs. And what it does, though, it makes sure your vehicle is properly repaired to manufacturer repair quality. And Capital Collision does it right. They do it right the first time, so you don't have to go back a second time. Capital Collision Center in Helen. Rachelle Sayers next, Jason Walker Show.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back on a Wednesday, Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home. Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. Still to come, Montana Western women's coach and coach of the defending national champs from 2019, Lindsay Wooley. He'll join us. Also, we'll check in on this day in history and much, much more. So the Carroll College women have been pretty good for a while. Rachelle Sayers has done a fantastic job as the head coach and has some pretty good players. This may be her best team, and we've been saying that about the Saints women for the last, 4 or 5 years, that this is going to be the team. This is the year. This actually might be the year that the Saints head to the national championship game, possibly win it. First, though, they have to get past regionals for the first time ever in the NAIA, as they'll head out to Lewiston, Idaho, and await the winner of William Jessup and LC State, which is kind of crazy. And we'll get Rachelle Sayers' thoughts on that coming up here in a minute. That's what she said Wednesday. It is brought to you by Dinners Done Right. Go to dinnersdoneright.helena.com. Check out the menu for March. Coconut curry shrimp, honey mustard grilled chicken, and Irish pie. Lemon and herb marinated chicken, Mexican chicken bake, sloppy joes done right. I mean, some unbelievable stuff. Slow cooker chicken and rice, Swedish meatballs. Monday was Meatball Day, remember? National Meatball Day, and Guy Holmquist is a huge fan, Capital coach, huge fan of meatballs in general. And every time I think of meatballs, I think of that scene in not Happy Gilmore. What was it? Wedding Singer. The old lady gives Adam Sandler, the meatball in his hand, and it's like he takes a bite and he's like, "Oh, it's a good meatball. It's a good meatball." It's just dumb. Go to dinnersdoneright.com. They'll have everything ready for you to pick up. Make your order, and they'll deliver too. Also, curbside. Check them out in Helena. dinnersdoneright.com. Love Dinners Done Right. It's so easy. So easy. You just call, say, "Hey, look, I want one of these, two of these, whatever. Chicken stroganoff with egg noodles." They'll have it ready. dinnersdoneright.com. All right, Rachelle Sayers. How do the Saints spend the time in Lewiston, Idaho over the next couple of days? We'll find out right now as she joins us here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach, appreciate you joining us. It's been a while since we chatted, like about a year, I think, but not since you got Jamie Pickens, and that seemed to be a pretty good pickup for you.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well for us. Obviously, it's always nice to bring in a local talent, but she definitely filled a need that we had. I mean, obviously, we lost two players last year that both played that position, so bringing Jamie in was a perfect fit.
And it seemed that the team gelled with her pretty quick as you guys had an outstanding regular season.
Well, I think most of them knew her, and, that was part of it. And I think the way that Jamie approached the whole situation really, really blended itself to a great fit. I mean, she came in just wanting to be a part, and she didn't come in to stake her claim and be, the All-American player that everybody thinks she's going to end up being while she's here at Carroll. She came in to be a part of what we were doing, and that was huge for us.
Pretty good regular season, just 2 losses. It's a different type of season. The girls navigated it pretty well, though, and I know there were some stoppages. There was some COVID-related issues on the team, but overall, you got to be happy with how the team itself came through everything.
Yeah, I think definitely, I have to credit our upperclassmen and our leaders. They just refused to let this defeat us. I mean, after last year losing a chance to go on to the national tournament, we've got a lot of seniors, a lot of upperclassmen, and they just refused to let this be what kept us from achieving our goals. And it was hard. It definitely wasn't easy. We had a lot of ins and outs, kicked out of the gym, back in the gym, stops and starts, and obviously that, the trip to Oregon that turned into like a 36-hour drive for nothing. But, I think it made us stronger. I think it made us realize, like, we got to take advantage of every single opportunity that we have, because we don't know when the next one's going to come.
Rachelle Sayers joining us, the Frontier Conference Coach of the Year, the champion regular season and tournament champs from for the Saints. But, Coach, when you look at this team, it is so loaded. And, Danny Wagner, Christine Denny, we talked about Pickens already. And then you throw in, a Genesis Wilkinson, or Maddie Garretts, who played big minutes, and then Jaden Lyman, of course, and Sienna Swanek. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Is this the most loaded team you've had?
I think for sure. I think we check all the boxes. I mean, we have the depth, we have size, we have shooters, we have kids that play defense as a whole and enjoy, getting out there and creating havoc. But I think more than anything, this team plays together, and I think you see that when you watch our games. I can't even count how many games we've had over 20 assists, and I think that was the big question mark going into this year was how is this team going to be able to coexist? How are we going to have enough balls to go around for the offensive talent that we have out there? And they found a way, and I think they're each other's biggest fan out there, and that makes things a lot easier for me.
So is this the easiest season you've had as far as, take COVID out, but the easiest season to coach?
I don't know if I'd say it's the easiest. I mean, obviously it's a tough year with COVID, but I think as the expectations of this team were set, I mean, everybody sees us getting Pickens and the kids that we returned from the year prior to. I think that comes with a lot of pressure, and as a coach, you don't want to screw that up. You don't want to be the reason that they don't meet the expectations or goals that they have. So I think as a coach, you work harder, you push more, you're just always trying to find a way to help them reach their goals and then get better yourself, because again, it is pressure on our staff too. I think on me, I mean, I feel the pressure. I don't want to be, I'd never want to be the reason these kids didn't reach their goals. So I'm constantly, trying to get better and work harder and help them do the same.
Rachelle Sayers, our guest here, Jason Walker Show, and I've known you for a few years. You don't like that trip to LC State, yet you get to go for a second time this year, which is, I guess it's good because it's the regional. It sucks being the 1 seed, having to go to the home of the 2 seed, but you're okay with this trip to LC, I'm guessing?
It was a little disappointing. We knew somebody, a 1 seed, was going to end up playing at LC on their home floor, and we didn't think it would be us. All signs were pointing that we were going to Omaha, and knowing that we'd already played LC, we didn't think it would be us. And obviously LC still has to win. They play William Jessup on Friday night, but we feel pretty confident that we will have another Carroll LC matchup. But it's also a place that we've been, I think, 7-1 in our last 8 games at LC. And so I think the kids are confident. I know to be able to finally have fans is going to be huge for us. We have so many kids from that area, I think 6 right in that area. And so, their families and friends are going to have a chance to come watch and play. And so I think we'll have a great crowd. And I think the kids are going to be ready. I mean, like I said, we got this opportunity taken from us last year. And so I'd expect us to come out and be ready to roll.
With LC, the scouting report, you already know them pretty well. You'll tweak a few things here and there. William Jessup, pretty much an unknown. I mean, we've seen him at the NAIA tournament. I don't know if you've played them before, but what do you know from them?
We have not played them. Obviously, they were at the national tournament in Billings 2 years ago. The GSAC did a really weird thing this year. They had 2 divisions, and so they had one division of teams that were testing. So that was like your Vanguards and Westmont, and one side of the GSAC that were not testing. So William Jessup came out of the non-testing side as the automatic, and then Westmont came out of the testing side. So, they've got a big post. They got athletic guards. They actually had a 1-point loss to University of Nevada early in the year, and so they've had some good games. And it'll be interesting. They'll get out and pressure LC a little bit, and like I said, they do have some size in the paint. But LC's at home, so I would guess that LC has the advantage there.
I talked to Lindsay Wooley coming up, earlier today, and he said too that I asked him if the rims were the same size. You've been out there more than Western. Are the rims back to 10 feet on both sides?
I typically do pack my tape measure when we go. So I'll be checking that out, making sure that all is the way it should be. So I didn't tell Lyndsay to take his tape measure, but I'll get those measured up when we get out there.
It's got to be nice to have another Frontier team out there with Western.
Yeah, I think, if I was Westmont, I would not want to see Western across the floor. And obviously Western's going to they played Benedictine, Mesa, and we've seen that team, and some of our teams have played them actually last year in that Phoenix Classic that we always have. They're very similar to Western. They're going to up tempo, they're going to press, they're going to zone, and so it's going to be two up tempo, aggressive defensive teams going at it. And then Westmont's kind of the same thing. You've seen them before: small, athletic guards, fast, shoot a lot of threes, and so. I'm not sure that it's a great matchup for Westmont because Western is so similar, and Western's really good.
Yeah. Well, they've got some good players, as does Providence, which is out in Omaha, and Carroll, of course. You guys have the bye. With LC, Kira Burlish having a fantastic year. We know how good she was in high school, and she's just been getting better for Brian Orr's squad out there, and finally had a chance to take over her own team, I guess. And being the Cascade Player of the Year, she really showed what she's got in a talent.
Yeah, I mean, she's a handful. She's 6'3", really athletic, shoots the three, And she is kind of the key to everything that they do. And she is a bit of a mismatch because she's more, she's more perimeter oriented than post oriented. But, she's kind of like a Christine Denny. If you put a guard on her, then she goes into the post and, she beats you the boards and she's able to score in the paint. And if you put a post on her out on the perimeter, then, they got to guard the 3-point line and guard her off the bounce. So she is a little bit of a mismatch problem for a lot of teams. And, we throw 3 or 4 people, at her at a time. But she's a really nice player.
So we know about Kira, we know about Abby Johnson, we know about Jansen Edmiston, Peyton Souvenir. Who else should we look for that LC to step up?
Abby Farmers has some really good games for them. They're just really solid. I think, they're kind of like us. They count on those top 5 for a lot. They do have some kids off the bench, a couple freshmen that come off the bench. They have some size off the bench. But I think the biggest thing with that group is you gotta guard them in transition, and you got to get to the 3-point line. And when we've had the most success to them, we've been chasing them off the 3-point line and limiting them to one shot. But it's harder than you think. I mean, they push that ball faster and harder than any team we play all year. And so, that's really been our focus is transition B. We've really been kind of focusing on ourselves and getting better. But obviously, you got to start working on some of those things. And transition B is something that you're going to be doing all tournament if you're fortunate enough to keep playing. And so that's been a real focus. And then really just making sure we're hammering people on the boards and we're rebounding like we can.
Well, you'll pass through Helena Sunday after winning the regional and on your way out to Sioux Falls. I'm sure that's a flight though, right?
Yeah. We'll come back. Yeah, we're definitely, we actually end up flying into Omaha because getting into Sioux City was a little bit difficult.
City, yeah.
And so we're about, I think it's maybe 80 miles from Omaha. So we'll fly, if we're fortunate enough to win Saturday, we'll fly out on Monday or Tuesday to Sioux City and have a couple of days down there. With all the testing now, you have to be at the site a little sooner than typically you would, because you got to get down there and get tested, wait for the results, and then kind of go from there. Because I think it's about every 48 hours you get tested now.
Wow. Fun stuff. Just getting, it's not as bad though, is it? With the nasal swab, it's not as deep.
We've been doing the saliva here. It's been a while since we've done the nasal, so now we got to get back to that. But the saliva was kind of nice. That was a little bit easier. That was painless. But I guess whatever we have to do. But it is just sitting around waiting for those results is probably the most nerve-wracking part of my day, is just kind of waiting around and hoping everybody comes out negative.
It sucks that you have to miss Capital in basketball in your daughter's last tournament, but I guess it's worth it if you're playing in the regionals. Yeah,
it's I didn't get to go today. My last game was the playoff game, and last night I think about 12:30 I had the mother's remorse and felt really bad and trying to figure out how I could adjust things to get there today. Was able to watch it. I think my kids have just grown up in this lifestyle. I mean, they haven't been, I haven't been fortunate enough to be at every single event that they've been at, and that's kind of how we've been, their whole lives. I've been on the road, and they may have had something, and so it's hard, I think, as they get older, and now she's a senior, and you feel like, gosh, these are going to be the last games she plays, and I'm not going to be there. So that's been really hard. But obviously, like I said, they've grown up as a coach's kid, and they kind of understand that when it's basketball season and I have games where I'm on the road, I'm just not going to be able to be at theirs. And so it's hard, but obviously, I saw her off this morning. I already talked to her twice since the game, and we'll stay in constant contact. And she's looking forward to coming out to Sioux City when they're done. So hopefully we can get there and she can come cheer us on.
Do you get to cheer the guys on? Do you get to have that fans in the stands as far as teams? I mean, out in LC or in Lewiston?
We do. They actually said those are the only ones. We don't actually even get to go watch, say, LC William Jessup. We can't go watch that game. But if you have if you're a women's team and your men's team's there, then you get to go watch that game and vice versa. So that was really nice. I'm excited we'll be able to go there. And plus it just kind of fills the day. I mean, right now during the day, you don't really leave your hotel room. We don't take them anywhere, and not that we would, but they're pretty much going to be logged on to classes during the day, and then we'll have a little break to go watch the guys, and then we'll practice and come back and do some more homework. So it's of course if we are able to win and get to Sioux City, it's going to be another week of out of school, so they'll be needing to log on and stay on top of that for sure.
But they're already used to that. I mean, it's been almost a full year now, so.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, I guess fortunately for them, they've been able to be in class. We're one of the few schools that have been able to stay in the classroom, and so they are having to go remotely. But like you said, after last spring, I think everybody's pretty accustomed to doing that, and so it won't be anything new, but just I guess a new scenery and new place to do it.
Well, you can't go across the river to Clarkston because it's still closed, but you can hang out and there is that movie theater that when Carson Cunningham was the coach, he took the guys to a movie. We went and saw Zootopia before a national or the conference tournament game championship. So there is that movie theater. I'm sure maybe you can get the girls into.
Well, did you win that one? Because I'm not going to go to that movie theater.
They did not. No, they lost by 9.
Okay,
yeah.
Movie's out.
Okay, movie's out.
Movie's out.
Okay, so
I guess I've decided we're actually driving ourselves down to the regional. We're taking vans, and everyone's like, "Why are you taking vans?" And you should be able to take a bus. And I'm like, you know what? This is how we've been doing things all year. It's worked for us. Yep. We're not going to change something now. And so, yeah, we're going to be driving ourselves down to the regionals. I thought about driving us to Sioux City, but that's a little far.
It's not terribly far. I mean, it can't, well, it's almost as far to drive to LC as it is to drive across the state of Montana. So yeah, I guess it is. But hey, good luck out there. It's nice to finally talk with you. I didn't know if you were ever going to come on the show again. So,
well, 4 kids and trying to coach through this, it's been busy. But,
yeah, but you had 4 kids last year and came on.
I must not have been as busy. I don't know.
Maybe not. I guess not.
I'm a year older. I forget things. I can't do things fast as I used to. I think that might be it.
All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck. I'm rooting for you and the gals, and always a good time to chat with you. So safe travels and get a win.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jason.
That is Rachelle Sayers joining us, Jason Walker Show. She's fun. She's always going to be one of my all-time favorite coaches. I mean, yeah, I don't get to call her games anymore, but I'm still, the coaches are great, and the girls are fantastic. I stay in touch with some of them, and good luck to Carroll College women as they head out to regionals. Man, what a good trip that's going to be. You got the guys playing on Friday for Carroll. You've got Western women playing on Friday. You've got the Carroll women playing on Saturday. Hopefully the Western and Carroll, or the Western women and Carroll men play on Saturday. That would mean they each had won on Friday. So, gonna be a fun weekend. And then let's not forget, you get the Providence men and women out in Omaha. So, I mean, you could have 5 conference teams all playing on Saturday night. Providence men and Carroll women getting the byes, and then everybody else has to play Friday and hopefully win. But Frontier Conference men and women, especially the women. So powerful. And the Frontier women get so much respect across the country because before they combined the NAIA 2 divisions, which never shouldn't, I don't know why anyway. The Frontier Conference at one point had all 7 of its teams, was this 2 years ago, receiving votes, 5 in the top 25, the other 2 receiving votes. And that was with LC State. Now, I mean, it's only 6-team conference, but and you do lose the power in LC State when they left last year to go to the Cascade. But man, fun stuff. Good luck to all the Frontier teams. Speaking of the Frontier teams, there's one that has won the national championship on the women's side at the D1 level. And MSU Northern women won the Division II national championship back in the 90s. But the Division I NAIA championship 2 years ago, won in Billings, the 39th NAIA championship, and it was won by the Montana Western women. We'll talk to head coach Lindsay Wooley when we return because, well, guess what? Western women are still the defending champs. There's no tournament last year, remember? So the defending champs and head coach Lindsay Wooley will join us next here on the Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Final segment on this day in history coming up. Also, the walk-off and much more. Let's check in on tournaments, shall we? Billings West girls running away from Glacier. It is 35-22 in the fourth. And so that one's over. Let's see. Malta girls beat Loyola 61-45. Let's see here. Grizz men are winning by 10. You've got Manhattan Christian leading 33-23 at last update over Belt. And that was in the third, so there you go. So Malta Loyola is a final. Manhattan Christian final 47-33 over Belt. So there you go. Oh, and coming up in the walk-off, we're going to show you a scary video. Not like, ooh, scary, but like, holy crap, scary. Hope this dude's going to live, scary. That's coming up. Let's see, that West girls game, yeah, it's an 11-point lead. Glacier's made a little bit of a comeback. It was 32-19. It's now 35-24. So West doing their best to hold off the Wolfpack, but we'll keep an eye on that. In fact, let's give you an there you go. Look at it. It's courtesy of the NFHS. They do great work. They really do. Especially the camera dudes and girls and the operators that keep everything on the air. So good stuff. So there you go. All right, so the UM Western women, Montana Western, won a championship in 2019. They are defending national champions. They have a chance to go back to back if they can get through regionals and get a chance to get to Sioux City, Iowa. To do that, they have to beat William Jessup. No, they don't. They have to beat Benedictine Mesa and Westmont, two very good basketball teams. And joining us now to chat about Western's trip to Lewiston, Idaho, is the head coach, Lindsay Wooley, joining us on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach. Well, first off, thanks for joining us, but congratulations on making it as an at-large. There were only 11 at-large bids, and you and Providence each got one, which is a good thing for the Frontier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously with only 11 versus, let's add another 16 to that. So they're supposed to, typically 27 with the new format. For us to get 2, I think, is a good sign as we move forward into hopefully more of a normal year next year and into the future.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Montana Western coach Lindsay Wooley joining us here, Jason Walker Show. It was a weird up and down season. We're not going to talk a lot about the COVID and all of that, but it was a different season. How happy with the girls are you of the way that they handled it? You there? Did we lose you?
Sorry.
There we go.
There?
Yep, there we go.
My fat face at the mute button on the phone. Sorry.
There you go. No worries. So the question, I'm sure you heard it, but how happy with the girls are you?
Yeah, super happy. I mean, we were lucky in terms of, obviously we didn't play a preseason schedule to speak of, but we were able to get in every game, except for obviously those 2 Rocky games. And so it's a kudos to our kids for taking the necessary steps of, doing what they have to do. And we kind of joked all year before you make a decision, we always talk about act as if the world was watching. Now we changed it to, ask yourself if it's a quarantinable offense. And I think our kids did a good job of sacrificing and committing to what we needed to do to put ourselves in the best position to be able to compete and play games on a weekly basis.
And you guys were able to get that job done, finishing 3rd in the league and falling in the championship. You faced a very good Carroll team. Is this one of the best teams you've seen in the Frontier since your championship team from a couple years ago?
Yeah, they're certainly balanced. I mean, if you look across the nation this year, I think there's probably 3 or 4 teams that are favorites, and Carroll's one of them in my eyes. They can score it in a number of different ways, and they really have 3 elite defenders on the perimeter. And concept-wise, they're just a team that's going to be physical and guard you, and they're old. I mean, they're similar to our team a couple of years ago where we started 4 seniors and brought a couple juniors off the bench. They're old, they're experienced, they've been there, and they're on a mission. So they certainly have every opportunity to go out and win the whole thing.
Lindsay Wooley joining us, the Montana Western women's basketball coach. All right, so you guys thought you were done heading to Lewiston, Idaho. Surprise, surprise, you're not. You get that fun trip out to LC, but it means you're playing in the regionals, which is good. But heading out to LC and taking on a Benedictine Mesa team that is in the tournament for the first time ever. I think you're 1-0 against them overall, but it's a different type of year, and it's a neutral floor. So what do you expect out of this team?
I hope that, I think it should be a good game. They've got a Division I transfer that's probably the most athletic kid we've seen all year. Just 6'1" and long and really good around the rim. And so she's someone that we have to be aware of, especially on the boards. They like to play fast. We like to play fast, so it should be high scoring. I would, given that we both make shots. And so it's an exciting matchup. It's just exciting for our kids to play somebody different than Carroll and Providence. I think we played Carroll and Providence like 5 of our last 8 or 9 games or something like that. So it's like, let's go play somebody different and, get prepared and actually have to look at a scouting report, so knowing the scouting report and those types of things. And I know that, they've got a different energy about them, which is always good to see when you get to this time of year.
They're coming out of the Cal Pac and the 41st overall seed. I don't know what that means, the overall seeding thing, but 11-1 on the year. And this is a team that reminds me a little bit of your championship team. You guys, they're ball hawks. They'll steal the ball away from you, and averaging almost 15 steals per game. That's impressive.
Yeah, I actually thought that they're not playing quite as frenetic as they did last year. Last year, they were a team that they'd press you and trap you on missed shots and makes. And so this year, they're not quite playing that way. I don't know I don't know if they don't have the depth or what, maybe they haven't had the practice time, who knows, but they're a little bit different just from what we've seen from the 12 games that are on film, or 8 games, I guess, that are available to watch. So it's, they're a little bit different from that regard. And some of it's a byproduct of who they've played, because they haven't played a great schedule. And that probably reflects in their seeding. Obviously, with your 11-1, you think you should get a high seed, but part of it depends on who you play as well.
Your team averaging about 70 points, giving up about 62, but Brinley Fitzgerald has been a welcome addition to your team. But she's out there too with Paige Holmes, who's a lifer of Western basketball. I forget she's still there, but it feels like she's been there for 10 years, Coach.
I know she's been there for all 5 of our bids as a red shirt, and then obviously the 4 years that she's played. And we'd like to get her back for a 6th year, but I don't think that's probably going to happen. She's been playing with a pretty severe injury all year, but she's, Paige is our engine, and she's been that way since she stepped foot in the starting lineup 4 years ago. And so just such a kid that just makes winning plays and understands what it takes, and is always in the right spot at the right times, and extremely coachable. And Brinley's a kid that's just gotten a lot better. I mean, you can tell she's a kid that had access to a gym all summer, because she's improved a bunch from last year and is feeling more comfortable in our system and what we want. And I think she'll just continue to get better and better these next 2 years.
When you look at your team, I mean, we know who the starters are. We know who the big playmakers are. Who do you need to come in and come through in regionals to get 2 wins this week?
I think Lily Gopher has to play well. When Lily has played well, we've been hard to beat, I think. And Sheenie Mack's another one that's been, she's been a little bit inconsistent, but same thing. When she's playing well and she's playing confidently and taking care of the ball and making open shots, she's just another piece to the puzzle. We typically know we're getting out of Brinley and Paige, but those 2 are 2 that probably stick out to me. And then Sid's another kid that, she's just super efficient and doesn't take a lot of shots, but shoots it at a pretty good percentage. And she's going to have to be able to handle a little more pressure than we probably see in the full court and in the half court against Benedictine. And then if we're fortunate enough to get by them, against Westmont as well. So she's going to have to do a good job of kind of running the show and taking care of the ball and making good decisions.
I know you're not looking ahead to that Saturday matchup, but I mean, Westmont is a team that has some great lineage and great, tournament success as well. And we've seen them a lot in the NAIA tournament over the years, but I know you've looked at them on film. If you get past Benedictine Mesa, when you do, what do you expect from Westmont?
High energy, super, really athletic, 1 through 4. The guards are small. I mean, they're smaller than us. I don't think we're the smallest team we're going to play, but they've got really good skill. 1, 2, 3 kids are, like I said, they're not very big, but they're super skilled and they all shoot it really well. And Kirsten if there's a better coach in the NAIA, I think you'd be hard pressed to name them. She's got to be in the conversation year in, year out. One of the best coaches in the country. So I think it's, they're good. They're well coached. They've got a little bit more experience, and they play a style that's free and loose, and their kids play with a ton of confidence. So that they're going to be, fired up and ready to go.
All right. So you have experience going to LC, going to Lewiston, playing in that gym. Are you staying in the same hotel you normally do?
No, we don't. We didn't. We get assigned hotels.
So
we don't get. Red Lion is the only hotel that I've ever stayed in Lewiston and actually won a game. But we're going to try a different hotel this time.
Well, maybe that'll come in. Are the rims back to the same size again, or same 10 feet?
The right height.
Yeah, the right height.
I don't know. That's always the big joke when you get there. We need to measure the rims. You would imagine that they probably got them all set up and adjusted to the proper heights, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow when we get to practice.
Safe travels out to LC. It's always a fun road trip. I hope you have some good movies and the girls picked out something good and get a couple of wins. Let's get you and Carroll both to regionals or to Sioux Falls. How's that?
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd certainly love to show out for our league and do the best we can.
Coach, I appreciate you joining us, and congratulations, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Jason. Take care, man.
I don't know why I keep saying Sioux Falls. It's Sioux City, Iowa. That's where the NAIA championships are. All right, we got that figured. West is going to hold on and win. Give Glacier credit, though. The girls from the Wolfpack came back. I think it was 32-19 at one point. It's now 36-28 as you watch live on the NFHS network. But West, the defending co-champs with Capital, and they'll meet tomorrow in a semifinal. Barring a complete miracle here from Glacier, it'll be West and Capital tomorrow in the semifinals, or on Friday night, rather, up in Great Falls. And it is going to be Billings West as there's the steal. So it's all said and done. West High gets the win over Glacier. So, all right. I love being able to watch this. All right, let's. We thank Lindsay Wooley for joining us from Western. Let's get to On This Day in History. It is March the 10th, and it is brought to you by Big Sky Printwear. We print what you wear, and we'll soon have a Jason Walker shirts. It's going to be awesome. T-shirts for you to wear around. Are you kidding? How cool is that? Will you wear it, though? I want to know, because I'm not going to give it away if you're not going to wear it. But check out Big Sky Printwear. Over 35 years of experience. New location at 1400 Euclid. And get your St. Patrick's Day T-shirt printed there, too. And if you need just one T-shirt, they'll do it. If you need 1,000, they'll do it. And they do everything in-house. So you know it's going to be done the right way. Big Sky Printwear on Euclid. It is Mario Day today. Now, Mario made his debut in Donkey Kong. Did you know that? It is National Pack Your Lunch Day. It is National Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day. I got my water right there. 1888, heavyweight boxing champ John L. Sullivan, along with Charlie Mitchell, go 30 rounds. It ends in a draw. 1963, Pete Rose makes his debut with Cincinnati at a spring training game in Tampa. Gets hits in his first two at-bats. 1963 as well, Wilt Chamberlain of the San Francisco Warriors scored 70 points in a game. That dude scored a lot. And off the court. 1850, Spencer Gore was born. He was a British tennis player. Why is it important? Well, it's really not, but Spencer Gore won the first ever Wimbledon back in 1877. He was 27 when he won. How about that? Let's see. Sharon Stone was born on this date, 1958. Mitch Gaylord, the gymnast in the Olympics in 1984, born on this date, 1961. And starting an all-time classic, American cinema. American Anthem was the name of the movie. Oh. A couple of Montanans were born on this date in Montana, 1961. Bobby Petrino, now out at Missouri State. And Jeff Ament was born in Havre on this date, 1963. 1988, Andy Gibb passed away, the singer-songwriter from the Bee Gees. Myocarditis. We've heard that phrase a lot in the last year. He was 30. Corey Haim passed away on this date in 2010. Corey, one of the two Coreys in acting from in the 80s that were Lost Boys and License to Drive. That was a pretty good one. This date also, 1862, the U.S. issued its first paper money in the form of 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, and $1,000 notes. 1876, the first telephone call was made. Alexander Graham Bell, Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. And on this date in 1977, the rings of Uranus were discovered. They were.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
On this day in history, brought to you by Big Sky Printwear. We print what you wear at the corner of Euclid and Harrison. All right, we're going to show you this. Watch right here on the left side of the screen. This is during an ESPN soccer breakdown. But watch this. Dude got just drilled, and the host didn't know what to do or say. Watch this in slow motion. Look, boom. Part of the studio fell and broke and fell on top of the ESPN guy. He's okay. He's got some bruises, they say, and that's it, which is great news. But, I mean, I thought, you look at that and it's like, how is that guy alive? Anyway, we wish him the best. So, hope you had a great, fun show today. I know I did. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to Rachelle Sayers for joining us. Thanks to Lindsay Wooley. safe travels out to Lewiston guys and gals, and safe travels to Providence men and women heading out to Omaha. And 9 Providence women wrestlers headed to NAIA Nationals this week as well. It's an invitation. Good luck and have fun. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. We will talk with Janice Dean of Fox News and also Katie Garson-Forba after the big win for the Bruins today in the first round of the state AA boys and girls combined basketball championships up at Great Falls. You've got B and C going on in Billings and Lockwood, respectively. Good luck to all those teams as well. We'll have a recap for you tomorrow here on The Jason Walker Show. Hope you had a great one. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4. Go to jasonwalkershow.com. Presented by Capital Collision Center.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.